Welcome. I'm Jeff Nodell. It's Thursday, January 23rd, 2025, and with me is San Juan County Sheriff Eric Peter. Hi, Sheriff.
Hey, Jeff, how are you doing today?
I'm okay on this cold, sunny day. Uh, Sheriff Peter has appeared with us before to talk about bail and the consistency, his hope for consistency in bail between cases, not just at the local level, but also statewide and even on the federal level. This is important to you, right, Sheriff? The consistency of bail in all courts.
Yes, it's important to me, but more importantly, it's important to our victims of crime in all of our communities.
Okay. And we're going to talk about consistency a couple different ways. One would be consistency in comparing a couple different cases, but the cases that have similarities. And I know, I think you're going to talk today about two cases that have some similarities, but have some curious patterns in terms of the way the bail was applied. And another way to look at consistency would be, is the bail consistent with the gravity of the charges, as well as the big picture about whether the person will actually show up in court if they're released on bail or if there is no bail, right? So we'll
Yes.
talk a little bit about that. But before we get into that, why don't we start with a little explanation from you about what bail is all about?
Bail is put in place to ensure that the defendant shows back up in court. Our state law dictates that the judges utilize the least restrictive method to ensure that they show back up for future court appearances, including their trial. However, they can also take into account the seriousness of the crime alleged, the quantity of arrests, quantity of convictions this person has had in the past, how many times they have been on warrant status in the past, showing a pattern of not or failing to appear for court. And my experience seems to be that that's kind of all over the board at times.
So you want to compare two recent cases locally that have had. I'll let you explain. I don't want to explain too much. You go ahead.
Yeah, there's two recent cases that are pending trial. Both occurred on the Orcas Island community, and I'm doing this and contacted you and wanted to speak out to inform our Orcas community so that they're aware of things going on. I'm not here to pass judgment. That's not my lane. I'm just here to pass the information to the Orcas community without giving up details that would be detrimental to the case, but give them some facts that don't seem kosher with me. It doesn't seem like the bails are equal as compared to the crimes that are alleged. So in one case, the allegation of the charges of felony harassment, domestic violence, assault 2 with a firearm, domestic violence, and stalking, domestic violence, all felonies. Allegation, and I should have started with this, all people are innocent till proven guilty in our court of laws, as it should be. But these are serious allegations, serious enough that probable cause was found to move forward and eventually have a trial. The allegation was the gun was pointed at the victim and a threat to shoot the victim. Bail was asked for $500,000 and was granted at $300,000. Still in custody. Less likely that this person will be able to make bail before trial. Not a shot fired in that case. We have another case, same island on Orcas. Again, allegations of multiple shots being fired into a vehicle of somebody. The alleged crime is assault first degree with a firearm. Each shot could be considered a separate charge. Bail was asked in the amount of $500,000 again. It was reduced down to $100,000, and a subsequent hearing resulted in the bail again being reduced to $50,000. Currently, this person is still in custody, but it makes it much easier for them to gather the money together and make bail and be back out in the community. And I'm not downplaying the seriousness of either of these crimes. They're both extremely serious. But when shots are actually fired and they have a better chance of coming back to our community, that just doesn't seem right to me. And that doesn't seem safe to the Orcas community.
So are you making any traction? Is anything getting any better with bail in your view, in the region, locally, statewide?
In my opinion, no.
Okay. Well,
I've seen some of the bigger counties, King and Pierce County, they have similar offenses, and they seem to garner larger bails to hold people in custody and keep the public safe. I think I see more and more people becoming frustrated with the increase in crime in all of our communities. Do I see a shift in wanting to make actual differences and giving law enforcement officers the resources by way of changing the laws to actually hold people accountable? No. I won't go as far as saying we're going backwards. I'd say we're at a standstill right now.
okay. All right.
And once again, I'll reiterate my statements I have made to you several times. I still cannot believe that we live in a day and age now where the defendants or people who are perpetrating crimes seem to be given more sway or consideration than the victims of crimes or the innocent people that are out there just trying to live their lives every day.
All right, Sheriff. Well, thank you for sharing this. I think it's, I'm doing this because I hope it starts a conversation, and I hope it draws attention. You know, those are my goals here. I'm not, I don't have a particular point of view, or if I do, nobody cares to hear my point of view, but I think it's really important. These are subjects that should really be discussed in the community. And we want to make sure that, that some of the decisions coming from Olympia and coming from the courts are consistent with what the community really wants.
I just wanted to reiterate that I came out to share information with our workers community on what's going on. Because a lot of times, if you're not in law enforcement, if you're not an attorney, and if you're not a judge, you are not privy to how the law enforcement system or the justice system works and what goes on. So I wanted to be able to, a lot of times that falls on us. You know, people see people who commit crimes get released, and all of the anger comes towards law enforcement. And I wanted to let our Orcas community know that we're out here working these cases, and that's the lane we operate in. We don't operate in the other two lanes.
All right. Well, again, our aim here is to create community conversation and check values and make sure that the system is working in the way that you, the citizens, want. I think, right? That's the spirit that we're here for. So wanted you to know, wanted to give you some specific cases, and we'll see. It's up to the citizens ultimately and the legislature. And, you know, one thing that keeps coming up here is this least restrictive conditions. That comes from the state, right?
That comes from the state. However, there is the opportunity to take several other pieces of information into account.
Right. Okay. All right. Thank you, folks, for joining us. Thank you, Sheriff, for sharing. You don't have to do this. I really do appreciate it. I think there's a lot of sheriffs that just don't, just remain cynical and And I think you're here because you think things could be done differently and done better, right? That's why you're here. You wouldn't bother otherwise.
I do, and I'm happy to share. You know, I'm a community member. Actually, first, I'm a husband and a father, a community member and a friend to people, and this is my job. You know, I'm at 29 and a half years doing this job. I don't have to do this job anymore. I do it because I love it. Specifically left where I was at to come to this community. And
Very good.
this is information I want to know as a
Very
community
good.
member.
I applaud that. Thank you very much. And thank you folks for joining us. We will see you soon.
Thanks, Jeff. Have a great evening.
You too.